Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and today I have another bully romance, the non-com romance, the stepbrother romance, and some very thrilling aspects to this book. And it's Hate Me by A. Jade, or Ashley Jade. Let's just go with this. I know this is a part of a series. Yeah, it's the Black Mountain Academy. I don't know what this one is. Maybe it's the first one, but let's just talk about this. We are following Aspen and Trenton as our hero and heroine. You know, I love a Trenton. Just saying. Almost reminds me of Sebastian. Oh, I had a lot of Sebastians in my romances. I'm just saying. Okay, sorry. Off topic. So Aspen she's a girl who knows her situation. She has a father who loves her, and she has a mother who is basically just like a superficial, like, go digger. She loves her father, and her father loves her and her mother. So her father does things to live the lifestyle that her mother wants, and that lifestyle costs a whole bunch of money. We start off this book as in ninth grade for her, and she's going to school with her father's best friend's nephew, Trenton. They've known each other since they were little, especially since they've been childhood, like, cousins, technically, because she calls her father's best friend Leo, Uncle Leo. Trenton, on the other hand, does not like her at all. And she knows this wholeheartedly, especially since, like, they grew up together. So it was like, he did things to her that were, I was just like a kid in the playground kind of thing, but like worse. So now she's going to school with him, and he is just not okay with that, if you get what I mean. He is just not feeling it. And he starts doing things to her to make her feel like the outcast, to get her bullied, basically. In year 10, I think something happens where she has this crush on this guy, and Trenton is like looking at the situation the way it is, and he wants to sabotage it. So he does. And later on that day, or later on that week, he takes her into a janitor's closet and basically, like, assaults her. And when she finally, like, gets the wherewithal to just, like, get out the room, there are people outside the door, and he then proceeds to be like, oh yeah, the carpet's matched the drapes because she's ginger. Then he, like, puts his finger, because of how he assaulted her, to his nose, and it says she smells like tuna. So embarrassing. And then I think in year 11 is when things change. Her father ends up being murdered, and we find out that he was a con man. He was taking money from all these people, and finally one person decides to get revenge on him. And while she's at this funeral with her Uncle Leo, she sees her mother flirting with Uncle Leo's brother, who's FBI agent. He's the one who found out everything and got the murderer to justice. And they, like, her and her mother have this tiff. Things lead a certain way, and all she has now is Uncle Leo. That is a slippery slope to be on, because the following year, her mother is getting married to Uncle Leo's brother, Trenton's father. So now they really are step-siblings. And then we get to her relationship. She has a sexual relationship with her Uncle Leo, and I think he preyed on her because of how vulnerable she was. She needed a father figure. She needed that person with disability, and he took advantage of that. She's also doing some very destructive things. She becomes a stripper, and Trenton knows this. So like there's like so many subplots in this book that like it felt like I was like being spewed different directions. But the main plot is that there is, well, their relationship, but there is also someone killing females that Trenton has been involved with in some way or fashion. Aspen is thinking it's him, but then starts to realize that someone is trying to set him up, which does tend to happen. I felt whiplash with like how everything was going, like her being a stripper, her messing around with her father's best friend, who is like an uncle to her, and then her with Trenton, and then like the creepy vibes Trenton's father is giving me, and then her mother's situation. Like there are so many like little subplots that I was just like, what's like, I'm being pulled in all these directions, and they do like end up getting settled and resolved, but I just wasn't liking it. Like, let me see what I gave it. Yeah, I gave it a 3. And I said, overall, I thought this book was good. There are some predictable moments in it, but I would say that I was side-eyeing the hero for a moment. But then I really thought it over and figured out that it probably wasn't his sort of niche. But the plot twist, I did not think that it was the other. Keep that in mind. If you read this, then you know what I mean. I guess that's why Auntie gave her those pitying looks. Again, if you read this, then you know what I mean. But letting you know that the subplot was where it hurts because it was so mysterious. Then you just try to figure out who was doing what and why. And letting you know that I don't like animal killing, but there is a scene where there's a baby kitten and I wasn't prepared for it. But it puts a whole bunch of perspective for me concerning a certain person. And that's literally what I said. Technically, I would have given it as 2.75, but I finished it and it wasn't like it was horrible. It was just so much was going on with like the little subplots that I was just getting overwhelmed and not caring about the relationship or anything but like the mystery behind what was going on and who was behind it. Because I will tell you, that plot twist I wasn't expecting, but when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like I can see this happening, you know? But that's it for this book. It's just short and sweet and to the point. I will let you know that the ending I didn't really like. I'm glad they have their happy for now. It wasn't satisfying to me. I didn't like that she waited 4 years for a guy who might not come back. I'm glad that she explored and let loose, but did she really let loose when she was just holding on to this one person? And then he comes back into her life and in this one moment and everything's okay. So I'm just like, it just didn't feel right to me, and I don't know. I just wasn't into it. That is it. I hope you enjoyed this. My name is Lady Lauren Explorer, and I will see you all in my next video, which I post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes Sundays, so tune in and subscribe to see what's next. Bye!